So I'm Yariv, the CEO and one of the 3 founders of SpaceIL. Who heard about SpaceIL before? So that's very good. I won't bother you too much with SpaceIL. I want to talk about what made SpaceIL be what it is, how SpaceIL got originated or started. We'll talk briefly, like for 3 minutes, we'll remember what SpaceIL is, and then we'll continue. So SpaceIL's mission, sending an Israeli spaceship to the moon, making sure it will land safely. Every time you hear about SpaceIL, think about the greater vision, the educational impact, making sure the next generation of Israel, all the kids, some of them, not all of them, will become scientists and engineers. That's our bigger vision, like the same thing that happened during the Apollo days back in the 60s. We're part of a competition. Right now we're down to 23 teams out of 33 that started the race. It's going to be tight in 2015, but we're considered one of the leading teams. We started off 3 guys 2.5 years ago. I used to work for the government, as they say. Kfir was an officer in 8200 in the intelligence corps, and Jonathan used to work, still is working for the Israeli aerospace industries. Since then, we managed to gather a lot of support, amazing people who are helping us along the way. Professor Ben Israel, Maurice Kahn, President of Weizmann Institute, Professor Zeifman, Professor Klafter, the President of Tel Aviv University. A lot of amazing people who are helping us with our journey. Today we're at 250 volunteers or team members, 12 full-time employees, and we're about to grow. Here you can see us with our youngest supporter, President Peres, and our oldest one, Amit, 2 to his left, with Maurice Kahn, one of our biggest supporters to date. And it really is it's a growing thing. It's amazing to see it grow. We have amazing partners supporting us with millions of dollars and millions of dollars worth of help. I won't go into all of that. The commercial sponsorships, amazing in-kind support, law firms, PR firms, even Dropbox. We have 16 terabytes on Dropbox. Wow, that's I'm an engineer. That's the thing that gets me most excited. We're planning to land in 2015. We're raising funds. If you have $7 million in your bank account, you'll be just filling out the last part that we need. In the past 2.5 years, we've raised 23 out of the 30 millions that we need for the project. That was, yeah, it's not easy. The spaceship weighs roughly 140 kilos. Most of it is fuel needed for the journey to the moon and to descent to the deceleration and descent phase on the moon. And that should happen for about 15 minutes in 2015. It's going to be very scary 15 minutes. We'll have real-time video, so we'll be able to be, we'll see the drama in real time. And always, don't forget the SpaceIL effect, the thing that we're trying to create. You'll hear a lot about the spaceship. Think about what's behind the spaceship, about the impact that we're trying to create. We've already reached more than 33,000 kids here in Israel. We've got dozens of volunteers going into classrooms all over Israel. You can go into spaceil.com and ask for a SpaceIL volunteer to come into your classroom. We're working on a nationwide program right now to impact all of Israeli kids. This is Jonathan, my partner, in a kindergarten. And it's an image that tells a story. Those kids are flying cardboard spaceships, but in their minds, they're flying them to space. I don't need to impact all of them. If I can impact 2-3% of the Israeli kids that I meet, I made something amazing even before landing on the moon. So, and we're also, it's a great story about Israel. It's a great story about space. It's something that, it's another good thing that comes out of Israel. So that's SpaceIL in a very short nutshell. I want to talk about what makes such a project. The project didn't come from nowhere. It didn't start from just nothing. It started off with a few projects that I did before, with a few ideas that I had before, and it started off because of a community that we have here in Israel. Without those 2 components, it wouldn't have started. A little bit about the background. You have to be a little bit crazy to start something like SpaceIL. And yes, that's me on top. Yes, Red Bull Flugtag 2003. That was an amazing experience. we didn't know who will be the pilot. So the night before, we did like, we were 5 guys, and each one was thinking if he wants to be the pilot or he doesn't want.
You have to explain what they see.
Okay, so this is a competition called the Red Bull Flugtag, or Flight Day. It's a funny competition. You're not expected to win anything. There were like, from the other side of the lake, like 100,000 people cheering up to the idiots who are flying with all those non-flying machines to the one of the most polluted lakes in Israel. I'm wearing a helmet and I'm not fat. I have like a life vest beneath the t-shirt. And we built everything back at the backyard in a kibbutz, in kibbutz Yakum. You can see a few wheels on the bottom. These used to be bikes of kids from the kibbutz. We're sorry for that. And on top of it, you have a 6-meter doll of Superman. I sampled the sex doll to understand how to create it bigger, much bigger. And on top of that, you have a wing, 10 meters by 6 meters by aluminum. The guy who soldered the aluminum that was the first time he dealt with aluminum. And on top of that, you had an idiot standing on a deck of wood, holding, I'm holding a rope, and my friends are pushing me to my death. It was 9 meters high.
And this was supposed to fly. They only forgot to invent the anti-gravitation machine, which goes.
Well, we had a nice trick here. The podium was 6 meters, and we asked them how tall can the flying machine be, and they said, well, it can be up to 3 meters. So we created another podium, 3 meters high, and we put our Superman on top of that. Now, when we did the agrala, how do you say agrala? The raffle to who will be the pilot, we thought that it's going to be an amazing experience, but most likely that the guy will break a hand or a leg or something. You've got like professional divers waiting in the water to grab you out if something happens. But luckily I fell screaming, swallowed all the polluted water, and then the Superman came above me and I was trying to get out, and then they pulled me out, and I'm happy to stand here with you. By the way, we got 2nd place in the distance. Another crazy project.
When the government took to employ you, they knew it this time.
Well, when I did this thing, that was when I got drafted. It took like half a year until I got to work for that special unit in the government, and they saw it. A year after that, I couldn't do it. There were reruns of the Red Bull Flugtag on the Channel 5, like on the sports channel, and people told me, yeah, you're on TV, but you work here, you can't be on TV. I did that before I started working, so it was okay. This is another crazy project back from 2008. I did it with a very good friend, with Achi. I think that was the 2nd year we came to Kinnernet, Yossi's event, and we wanted to create a $500 spy satellite. And what you're seeing here is 2 weather balloons with a parachute and a small box with some communications, cameras, GPS, etc. And we sent that box up high, and it went, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the map, so this is, well, I'll just point it here. This is Israel, where we started to the left, and then it went into Jordan, then it went into Syria, and then it went back into Jordan, almost with the Iraqi border. And there you can see like the profile of the flight. We used 2 balloons because we wanted the descent also to be slow. It was something quite nice. You can see Achi's hands to the left. He's programming while I'm taking pictures. And this is the hole for the camera. We did everything in a week. We didn't sleep for a week. And we also brought real-time images from Jordan and Syria while the balloon was flying, and everything was in real time in Google Earth. It was a really, really nice project that we did back then.
Yariv,
yes.
You forgot to mention that before they sent this whole instrument that they built, from rubber and chewing gum and duct tape.
The camera, I had to buy a lot of toilet paper to get the camera for free. So we told everybody, you should put your business cards, whoever will find it. All the Israelis who knew it was going east took a step back. All the friends from other places came and put in their business cards. But since the vice president of Deutsche Telekom was not arrested when he went to Syria, I'm guessing they never found the box. Somewhere in the desert. Another nice project. This is a small UAV for playing. You can throw it and it goes back to you. This is a project I started doing before Space IL, and right now it's on hold until we finish one project. That's another project, Kinernet afterwards, one after the balloon. Here you had the chance to fly a UAV. You had the stick, you had goggles on you, and wherever you moved your head, the camera on the UAV moved. And you had you can see here the, all the data and everything, and you can fly the plane. And if the plane goes outside of a box in the air, the autopilot takes it back into the box, so you can't crash the UAV. I can't fly UAVs or drones or anything like that, so for me, I wanted something that I can also play. And you can see we brought a real guy. This is do you remember his name? I forgot his name. It's not Chen Sarfati, it's one of the other guys. He's like one of the... I'm not sure. He's one of the top UAV pilots in Israel, or RC planes.
They were kids, 17 years old, using remote control helicopters. They were the world champions, the two of them.
They did amazing shows.
Started his first year in the Technion, and he went to learn computers. So I asked him, Chen, why didn't you go to
Aerodynamics.
He said, no, aeronautics is my hobby. My profession will be computer. If this will be my profession, then I won't enjoy the hobby. So this is...
And since I must have a hobby now that Space IL is a full-time job, I'm working on my weekends. My wife is a doctor, so when she's in the hospital and I have a free weekend, I work on something called the Cricket. It's a device, it's a bike alarm, a silent bike alarm for your bikes. And it really, I'm doing it with the help of a lot of friends. And without the movement of the maker fair, of the makers, you can't build something like that. You need a lot of help from good friends. And that's what I'm here to tell you. You need the cloud, you need all those organizations, all those events, if you want those kinds of things to continue and happen. The major event, the biggest event in Israel is Kinernet. From there, amazing other events got created, and today we have how many events in Israel? Every other weekend you have an unconference for makers, for crazy people. And I'll show you one that I helped organize. It's called the Machanet. You can see here, that's the image we do every year. The one to the top right is from a military helicopter. To the top left you have one from a UAV, from a drone. And those two are from weather balloons. We also did one of the biggest QR codes in the world. You can see it here. These are people, these points are people, and this is a QR code. It's,
Who are the participants?
Now the participants are all top secret people from all over the government and the IDF. You have people from the Air Force, from the Navy, from the security forces, from the intelligence corps. You have all those crazy people from all those units gathering in for 3 days. Now, everybody has to build a project. The project has to be useless, totally useless. Why is that? I don't want someone from the Mossad doing a project from someone from the intelligence corps, and then someone from the Navy will come and say, I want to join. They will tell him, no, it's classified, you can't join a project. The idea is to network all those crazy, amazing people together and let them brainstorm, think outside of the box. I won't go there. Crazy. We allow a lot of crazy projects at Space at Machanet. To the left, you can see a guy flying in a water jetpack over the pool. They had to convince the commander of the Air Force base. We're doing this inside an Air Force base. They had to convince the commander of the base to bring his fire truck because they needed a lot of water pressure for him to fly. You see the wheel in the middle that looks like a Google Chrome. There's actually a guy inside. It's a water slide simulator. You sit inside, it starts to turn, and it also twists, and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fire, a lot of flying things. We do a lot of crazy things, everything with the right approvals and everything after the incident of the first year. 4 F-16 came back from a drill and they wanted to land, and a few of the Mahanet guys decided that they should launch like it was like Philippine candles. It's like a candle, like a hot balloon, but a small one. And they launched like 20 of those, and then the F-16 came and they saw strange UAVs about their landing site. And they started to circle the Air Force base and asked the guys downstairs what the hell is going on. And then
called the control tower, and then they told him, pull it down.
They had to land in a different spot and then be towed. I think that the cost of that thing was much higher than the cost of the event itself. Just that change in F-16. Since then, we told them that everything that goes above 3 meters, we'll coordinate with them. So we're okay now. 2011. Yeah, that was we think it's the largest pizza in the Middle East, 3 meters of pizza. We thought, well, yeah, nobody's going to finish that. But then you had like all those people just ran over the pizza. The first guys, they climbed on the pizza and took other part of the pizza, and then the people that came after them took the parts that they just stepped on. It was a really good pizza. We launch rockets. We do amazing, crazy things. It's a lot of fun. That's the idea, to network people with a lot of fun. If you think about it, if I have a crazy idea in my unit, and if I want to talk with someone who has knowledge in that area from another unit, I have to ask my commander, and he has to ask his commander, and then the guy from the second unit, and they have to go down. And if someone thinks that this is not a good idea, that connection will not happen. When you connect all those crazy ideas, all those crazy people, they can talk with each other. And from those useless ideas came a lot of amazing projects that are helping the state of Israel. And that's the bigger goal of Mahanet. So what I'm trying to say here is that you need both crazy people, and in Israel we have a lot of crazy people, but you also need all those camps, all those events to connect those people. And from that connection, amazing things can happen, such as Space AL. And with that, I will finish. If you have anything to ask, to support, if you want to help us out, if you want our volunteers to go into your classrooms, if you want to like us on Facebook, spaceil.com, you'll find everything there. Toda rabba.
You used 5 minutes more than your allotted time, but I think we will forgive him. Huh? What do you think? Good.